And what if happiness isn't something you find, but something you build? We often chase it like a moving target. The next grade, the next job, the next vacation. Yet after a burst of excitement, life settles back to normal, and the search starts again. What if the real question isn't how to feel good right now, but how to live well so that feeling good becomes a natural byproduct? Today, we'll explore the philosophy of happiness, explained simply. We'll look at ideas that are ancient, practical, and surprisingly modern, and we'll translate them into small steps you can use today. For thousands of years, thinkers have asked what happiness really is. In ancient Greece, Aristotle described a life of flourishing based on character. Epicurus talked about calm pleasure and the wisdom of simple desires. Roman Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius taught steadiness and focusing on what we control. In India, early Buddhist philosophy explored desire, attention, and compassion as paths to peace. We'll weave these traditions into 4 big ideas you can try in daily life. Big ideas. Idea number 1. Flourishing beats flashes. Aristotle thought happiness isn't a mood, it's a life well lived. He used the word eudaimonia, which means flourishing, like a garden that grows strong over time. You build it through habits that express your best self: honesty, courage, generosity, patience. A quick example. One joke can make you laugh, but years of showing up for friends makes you the kind of person who doesn't need to chase good feelings. They follow you. Idea number 2. Desire wisely, enjoy simply. Epicurus didn't say, party hard. He said, be smart about what you want. He divided desires into natural and necessary, like food, shelter, friendship. Natural but unnecessary, gourmet food, luxury clothes. And empty, status, fame. Choosing more of the first category and less of the last reduces anxiety and increases calm pleasure. Think tea with a close friend instead of stressing over the newest phone. Idea number 3. Control what you can. Reshape how you see what you can't. The Stoics taught that events are outside our control, but our judgments and actions are up to us. You can't stop traffic, but you can decide whether to stew in anger or use the time to call a loved one or practice deep breathing. By focusing on your response, you reclaim your power and protect your peace. Over time, this habit turns setbacks into training for resilience. Idea number 4. Train your attention. Soften your craving. Early Buddhist philosophy observed that suffering grows when the mind clings and chases without end. Mindfulness counters this by noticing thoughts and feelings without immediately reacting. With practice, a craving or worry becomes a passing wave rather than a command. This makes room for compassion too, toward yourself and others, which strengthens relationships, a key ingredient in lasting happiness. Think of happiness like building a small, sturdy house. Aristotle is the blueprint. Who do you want to be? What daily habits match that? Epicurus is the design choice. Keep what's simple and useful. Avoid clutter that adds stress. The Stoics are the foundation. Strong where you control things, flexible where you don't. Buddhism is the practice of living there, keeping the space clean by noticing messes, thoughts, urges, and letting them pass. Imagine a typical day. Your alarm fails, you're late, and you spill coffee. The Stoic in you says, I can't change the spill, but I can change my next move. The Epicurean in you chooses a simple breakfast instead of a frantic detour for a fancy one. The Aristotelian in you still holds the door for someone, because that's the kind of person you're training to be. And the Buddhist in you notices the surge of irritation, breathes, and lets it settle. Same day, different inner weather. Why this still matters. Modern life is full of the hedonic treadmill, getting used to new pleasures and needing more to feel the same. Philosophy helps you step off that belt. If your happiness depends on ever bigger hits of excitement, you'll keep running. If it rests on character, wise desires, focused attention, and skillful responses, it becomes steadier. Psychology echoes this. Cognitive behavioral therapy borrows from Stoicism. Thoughts shape feelings, so challenge unhelpful beliefs. Mindfulness-based practices mirror Buddhist attention training. Notice, label, and let go. Research on well-being aligns with Aristotle and Epicurus. Stronger relationships, purpose, and gratitude beat status and stuff. This also helps with social media. Platforms are designed to pull attention and amplify comparison. When you notice a scroll craving, pause and name it. Wanting to check. Decide on purpose. Is this a natural and necessary desire right now? If not, put the phone down, text a friend to meet for a walk, and choose the kind of pleasure that actually lasts. In work and school, these ideas reduce stress and improve results. You can't control a boss's mood or a test's difficulty, but you can control preparation, effort, and how you interpret setbacks. A rejection email becomes feedback, not a verdict on your worth. Choose a daily ritual. A brief review of what went well, what you learned, and one virtue you practice today to keep growth front and center. In relationships, happiness is less about fireworks and more about steady warmth. Epicurus called friendship a chief pleasure because it's reliable and nourishing. Aristotle would add, good friends help you practice virtue, and you help them. Small, repeated acts, listening, showing up, apologizing well, create a climate where joy visits often. Practical habits. You can start today. 3 good things. Each night, write 3 small things that went well and why. This trains your attention toward the real, not the noisy. Desire audit. List what you're chasing this month. Label each desire, necessary, unnecessary, or empty. Drop 1 empty. Simplify 1 unnecessary. Stoic pause. When upset, ask 2 questions. What's in my control right now? What's the next best action? Take that action. Mindful minute. Once a day, 1 minute of breathing. Notice a thought, name it. Planning, worrying, craving. Let it pass, return to the breath. Virtue cue. Pick 1 virtue for the week. Patience, courage, kindness. Put a sticky note where you'll see it. Look for 1 moment each day to practice it. Common misunderstandings. This isn't about suppressing feelings. Stoicism isn't numbness. It's clarity about what you can do. Buddhism isn't detachment from people. It's detachment from clinging that harms people. This isn't anti-pleasure. Epicurus enjoyed pleasures. He just chose the ones that bring calm instead of chaos. This isn't moral perfection. Aristotle knew we learn by doing. Small, consistent actions shape character over time. Happiness grows when you line up 4 things. The person you're becoming, virtue. The desires you feed, simplicity. The things you focus on, control. And the way you use your attention, mindfulness. Do that, and even when life is hard, your inner life gets stronger. So, simply put, happiness is less a treasure you find and more a craft you practice. Build character, simplify desires, focus on your response, and train your attention, and the feeling you're chasing will start to visit on its own. To keep your mind sharp, subscribe to Philosophy Explained Simply. Share this with someone who could use a calmer, steadier kind of happiness, and tell us in the comments which habit you'll try this week.